Hello everyone, my name is Havian, and today I'm going to be showing you Tears of Avia. This is a tactical turn-based RPG which is very similar to games like Disgaea or maybe even Fire Emblem. So if you're fans of those games, then this game is probably something you should pay attention to. This game is currently on Kickstarter at the moment, and I've been sent a prototype so I can actually show you guys what it's actually about. So if this does look like something you'll be interested in actually playing once it is completed, then please go and show some support. Because if it doesn't actually get completed, then who knows what the fate of this game will be. But what I'm going to do is actually show you the game, take you through what it is in its current state. I'm pretty sure things will change, so if you do see any bugs or things like that here and there, just keep in mind that this is a prototype. So just keep that in mind, and I'm going to jump into the game and show you what Tears of Avia actually is. So let's take a look. Alright, so now that we're actually in the game, I thought I'd take you through this demo or this prototype and show you what can actually be done. But just keep in mind throughout the whole of this that this is a prototype. And it's there to give you an idea of what the final game will be like, but everything that I'll show you could change. So just keep that in mind. So first things I'm going to do is show you a few of the customization options you have with your different characters in the party. Let's open the menu. So you can upgrade your skills, you can change your skills, and you can assign equipment through the inventory screen. There are going to be different types of rarity and different kinds of rewards you'll be able to get for doing missions or for doing quests, or for progressing through the different battles. But I'll actually go into showing you that a little bit later. But you have 4 different armor slots, 2 different accessory slots, and you'll be able to customize your party members the way you see fit. And you will notice that weapons themselves will have skills attached to them. That plays into a little bit more of the customization. You'll find weapons that will have different skills than other ones. And you'll have to find the right skills that I guess will benefit the build you've created for your characters. Because you are limited on the amount of skills you can attach to one character at any given time. I believe you can only have 5 skills on your character, then each weapon can have up to 3 skills on there. But it seems like these skills are going to be bound to the weapons themselves. And from the looks of things, later on in the game there will be rarer and even more legendary weapons that will have their own unique skills bound to them. So you're probably going to want to go out and search for those in the final game to try and get some of the better skills. I like the sound of that. I'm a huge sucker when it comes to games where you can actually customize your characters and it has a really in-depth loot system. And I'm all for weapons that are pretty unique. I'd want to go out and look for some weapons that have unique skills attached to them. And it reminds me of games like Golden Sun, where you'll find really rare weapons, and those weapons themselves will have really powerful skills that will trigger randomly when you're actually doing attacks. So you'll have some swords that will summon meteors into people. They got a bit extreme, so I'm hoping this game pulls a few of those tricks out. So let's take a look at the different skills you can actually equip. So these are the skills that you can actually upgrade. You've got 3 different skill trees per character from the looks of things, and each of these skill trees are going to focus on different things. So you've got Kai, who seems to be the tank of the party. You've got Reina, who is going to be the archer. You've got Iris, who is the mage. And then you've got Momoko, who seems to be the healer of the party. And you'll have different trees that will focus on different things, but you'll only be able to equip 5 of any given skill and bring them out into battle with you. So you're probably going to want to set your party up with the 5 skills that are going to work in sync with each other. So you don't want to go out with, I don't know, you probably wouldn't want to go out at things that don't work in harmony. But I guess you could pick whatever you want. You could pick a party full of people that are just using rods, because it does look like, from the looks of things, everyone can equip anything. I can give him a rod. He'll still have his warrior-like skills, but he'll be able to cast Firestorm because that skill is actually bound to this weapon. But I'm gonna give him a sword again because gotta have that sword on there. So I'm gonna take you around the town. Show you what actually you do around here. So you've got your home. I went and asked the developers of the game what you can actually do in a few of the different locations inside the town, because a few of them are actually unavailable and you won't be able to see what you can do in there. So they give me a rough idea of what can be done within the towns in the game. So for the homes, they're just going to be a starting location for the characters. They haven't actually come to a solid conclusion what the homes are going to be used for, apart from story related things. But right now, it's just a home. I don't think there's going to be any customization within the home to decorate and do things like that. But it just seems like it's going to be there for story purposes. And for the other locations you have in the game, you got a shop. You'll find your other party members just standing around. So you got shops where you can buy and sell things. Seems like all the different bits of equipment have got the same skills bound to them at the moment. So they haven't really added anything extra to the prototype at least. So you've got shops there. From the looks of things, the tavern is going to be a place where anyone that's not assigned to your party is going to be hanging around inside the tavern. So you can go in there, you'll be able to change your party setup, and then you'll be able to go out into missions after you've done that through the tavern. It's a little bit similar to the way Dragon Quest Heroes do it as well. And then you have the library. This is apparently a key location in the story. They didn't want to reveal too much because it would be too spoilerish. But this is going to be somewhere that is going to be key to the storyline. And you'll be able to find lore books inside of here, so you'll get to understand the world a little bit better. You can chat with the other party members as well if you want to. Then we have the town hall. This is apparently linked to the difficulty system inside of the game. You'll be able to enable and disable edicts. That will make the game harder and will make the enemies do a lot more damage, but in return you get better rewards. So it's a bit of a risk versus reward thing. So if you want to make the game a little bit harder, you can get better rewards out of it. Then you have the chapel. At the chapel, let me speak to the priest, or priestess. At the chapel you'll be able to actually offer money to one of the different gods, and when you offer money to them, you'll be able to get a buff. But apparently, if you have wrath on certain gods, then they may give you a negative effect rather than a positive one. So you probably want to keep giving them money to increase their favor, and then get the buffs that you actually like. But it does seem like it will heal your party members up. Let me speak to this god. So I've healed my party member up and I've gained a little bit more favor with this god. And then we have... what else do we have? I believe there's one more location inside of here. Then we have the loft. So the loft, from what I can gather, from what they've said, is going to be a place where you're able to track your achievements and the game progress. So I'm guessing each town that could possibly be in the game will have these different locations inside of there where you're able to check things. Or there may be different locations that's specific to different areas. But at least we know inside of this town, these things are going to be there in the prototype. That could change later on. So what I'm going to do now is actually go into battle and show you how the fights actually play out. I did say this is similar to games like Disgaea or Fire Emblem, and that is a turn-based RPG. So let's get into battle and actually show you what it's like. So if you travel, you go into a world map sort of menu, and then you can pick the mission that you actually want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the Redview Mine, since this is the only mission they've actually given us inside the demo. So you can see how battle gameplay is. So let's take a look. Okay, so now that we're actually in battle, anyone that has played games like Disgaea or Fire Emblem should feel familiar with the way this is about to play out. It is a tactical turn-based RPG. So I'm going to take my turn in setting up my party, attacking the enemy and buffing my party members up, and trying to predict what the enemy is going to take or what choices the enemy is going to take before they actually do, so I can set myself up in positions where I won't take a lot of damage. So first things first, let me actually take my party members out. So you'll see on the bottom of the screen, after I take some out, there's going to be a hotbar in the bottom. You can see on the different characters, they have 5 different class skills and they have 3 slots for weapon skills. So the class skills are going to be bound to that particular class, and then the weapon skills are going to be bound to the weapon you have equipped. So you can, let's say you have a warrior, you could equip a rod onto him. So the class skills will stay as the warrior skills, but the weapon skills will be weapon skills for the rod, for instance. So you'll be able to cast like fireballs and things like that. But at the moment, my warrior has sword skills attached because he's wearing the sword or using the sword. But first character I'm going to take out is the ranger. Raina. Usually you would want to keep rangers far away, but I'm going to move her slightly closer so I can do one of her moves. So you can see the bottom of the screen, we've got 5 slots for class skills, and then we've got 3 slots at the end where your weapon skills will be. So I'm going to pick one of my skills. So I've got Cool Hawks, I've got Thorns, Steady Shot, and I have a Standard Shot. For now I'm going to use Thorns because it will bind them in a certain location. Let's see. Or at least I assume that Cripple does bind them. Bleed and Cripple.
I won't let you get away.
Alright, so she's done that move. I'm going to take out my warrior right now. And I'm going to move him a little bit closer. I'm trying to say, a lot of the characters, or 2 of the characters in this have special moves. One of the special moves seems to be bound to a weapon, and the other one just seems to be bound to the character. But I'm going to save those to do a little bit of damage later on. So I'm going to move him over here and get him to do Mighty Slash on this enemy. If you don't want to wait for the animations, they do give you the opportunity to actually skip that. So rather than sitting there and watching the enemies take their turns, you can skip the turns and just take the damage that they would have done during that turn. Or you can sit there and watch it play out if you feel like it. Alright, I'm going to bring Iris out. I'm going to get her to do one of her more powerful moves. You'll see that each one of the different attacks will have different cooldowns. And the cooldowns in this game are based on turns. So you have this skill, Firebolt, that will take 2 turns to regenerate. And some of them will actually cost MP as well. But I'm going to be using a skill that will cost 0 MP, but it will take 3 turns to regenerate. This one is actually bound to a weapon. So I have to wait another 3 turns before I can use this skill again. But I'm going to use it on these 2. Hopefully it'll kill one of them. Oh, 3 HP. Oh my gosh. Alright, so he's only got 3. He's got 3 HP left. I don't know if I want to use this. I'm not gonna use her attack. So I'm gonna bring my healer out. I'm not gonna use her attack because it's gonna be a waste of damage, and I'm gonna have to be waiting 3 turns for her to regenerate that. So I'm just gonna put a defensive shield up on my tank. Okay, so now that I've taken my actions, I'm gonna end my turn, and it's gonna be the enemy's turn to take a turn. Or I guess the enemy's chance to take a turn. So we can see what they're gonna do. What I should do is make sure that my other characters apart from my warrior are away from the enemies. Because my warrior's got 300 HP and all the other party members only have 100. So they're gonna take a lot more damage. So I want to put my warrior in a position where he's between everyone else. Alright, so the bleed damage actually killed that enemy. So I'm gonna see if I can move my tank a little bit further forward again. And get him to do his sword slash on this enemy. Alright, let's see. You take half damage now. Sword slash for now. Alright, one more hit could probably kill this guy. So I'm gonna bring Rainer up a little bit closer, and I'm gonna get her to do one of her bow skills on him. Maybe, hopefully it'll finish him off. Let's see. 29 to 38 damage. Let's see if this one will be lucky. $31. Just about got it. And I'm gonna see if I can I'm gonna move Iris a little bit closer as well. It is pretty unsafe for me to do this. Move her right next to one of the enemies, but it's got a range. He's got a bow anyway, so whatever I do, he'll probably be able to range attack her. But I'm gonna see if I can kill him on one shot. Ah, 38. So close. I'm gonna move my healer a little bit closer, and I'm gonna get her to heal my mage. Momoko is gonna heal Iris. Okay, so now I'm going to end my turn and then see what the enemy's going to take. What actions the enemy's going to take. So we've got this enemy over here, which is a healer. And there's a good chance, because I haven't killed him, he could be healed. If bleed doesn't kill him, that is. So if she manages to get a little bit closer, he could be healed. So I'm going to go ahead and find out what's going to happen with these enemies. Only 20 damage, not too bad. And since he's going to take less damage, it's going to be alright if he takes a few hits. Perfect. Alright, bleed killed him. Working all according to plan. Alright, so this is the healer, so I want to make sure I get rid of this healer really quickly. I'm going to use one of my sword skills on this enemy. Let me see. Let me try something. Let me see if... Let me cancel this. Let me see if Rainer's Fawns... Alright, her Fawns are not back. But what I can do is use I'm going to use 2 different attacks and make them work together. So here's my plan. I'm going to use Core Hawks to cause bleeding and damage on that enemy. And then, because Kai has a skill that has increased damage when his target is bleeding, it'll do extra damage. So I'm going to use 2 different attacks in combination. So let's see if I can get her close enough to be able to do the Hawks on this enemy.
Attack!
Alright, so that target should be suffering some sort of bleed damage right now. Now I'm gonna move Kai next to her. Or it. I can't tell what this enemy is. I'm assuming it's in her. I'm assuming it's a her. Then I'm gonna get him to use Swift Strike. Get wrecked. There we go. Healer is done. Now let's see if I can actually... I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this off in 2 turns, but maybe I will be able to. Let me move Aris a little bit closer. Momoko a little bit closer. And I'm going to see if any of my attacks will reach. Nah, none of my attacks are going to reach, but what I will do is give her a range of fire attacks. Or imbue her weapon with fire damage. One thing to note is that you can actually damage a party member, so you need to pay attention to what skills you're using on who. So now her bow is gonna do extra fire damage, and I'm gonna heal my mage up a little bit. Alright, so now it's the enemy's turn to take a turn. Or the enemy's got a chance to take a turn. I can see that Kai is on fire. I don't know if it's still gonna last. It looks like it's worn off. But I should actually bring Momoko a little bit closer to see if I can get a heal off on him. Will it reach that far? No, it's not gonna reach that far. Maybe I'll have to bring him a little bit closer. That should work. So let's get him a little bit closer. Let's get him to do a... See if I can kill him. See if I can kill this enemy. It's probably not gonna be enough. But hopefully... It still hit quite hard. Hopefully this bow shot will finish him off. Hopefully this will do the trick because it's got extra fire damage attached to it. Alright, nice. Okay, so now we're moving on to the boss phase of this battle. What is interesting about this game is you can use the enemy's attacks to your advantage, which I'll be able to show you in a second. Okay, so the enemy's gonna fire out a few bombs now.
Bombs! Look out!
You know, we could throw them back at him.
What? You're crazy.
Alright, so we're gonna actually use these bombs to our advantage. Let me heal up Kai a little bit first though. Because after a few turns, those bombs will explode, and if you're in the radius, then you will take extra damage for it. But what you can do is, if you are in the radius, is you can throw these bombs back at the boss. So let's see if I can get them. Let's see if I can get all my characters close enough to actually be able to do that. I'm gonna have to put them into positions where they're gonna be able to throw some bombs back. But this boss does have range attacks, so I'm gonna see if I can reduce a little bit of range damage. Alright, it's time for the boss to take his turn. Alright, ooh, this is gonna be risky. Alright, I'm not gonna stand in the blast radius. It's looking like these two circles are within the radius, so I'm gonna stand here. It's within the circle, but I'm just assuming these ones that are darkened is where the explosion is gonna actually happen. So I'm gonna stand there. It's a risky stand, but I'll do it. And I'm gonna put Kai here. He's just on the border of it. He wouldn't be able to reach the bomb, but I'm gonna put him just on the border. But what I can do is use this move that I've been saving up on the boss. She's mainly used for healing, but she's got a few attacks that she can throw out as well. And now that my Firestorm's back or regenerated, I can use this on the boss. Alright, looks like my turn's over. Oh, I was right. I didn't take any damage, which is good. Okay, it looks like all of my party members are standing in really good positions to grab bombs, so I'm going to go ahead and throw some bombs back at this boss now. Boss should be almost dead at this point. There we go. There we go. The boss is down.
We did it! What have we here?
A tear.
Quickly, let's get it and go before more demons show up.
You can see you get rewards at the end of this mission as well. And these are the rewards you'll be able to equip into your character. I'm hoping that these are going to be random drops from the different missions that you'll be able to do. And you're able to get different rarities and different kind of things. I'm hoping. It does seem like it's going to be that way. But you get money from it as well, and it tells you how many turns you've taken. It tells you your top damage in the reward screen. Alright, so this was Tears of Avia. If this did seem like a game that would be interesting to you, then it is available on Kickstarter. You can support it. This is meant to be slated for a release, not like next year, but I believe it's in 2017. But they are still working towards it. So this is a very, very early preview of the game. But if it does look like a game that you'd enjoy, then go ahead and support it. Let's make it reach its goal. Go ahead and support this game if it does look like it's something you'd enjoy. It does look like a game that I'm going to enjoy. If you want to see more previews of upcoming games, I suggest you subscribe to this channel. But until I make my next video, I'll see you later.